DZRJ 810 AM. For Radio Garden app, once it's downloaded, search for DZRJ 810 AM. And for Streema app, that's STREEMA. And once it's downloaded, search for DZRJ 810 AM. And now you can enjoy DZRJ 810 AM anytime and anywhere. Hey, it's free.
You are watching the multi-awarded Radio Bandido TV on Channel 224 Sky Cable and TV Plus boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 810 AM. Informing, advising, and entertaining the Filipinos and OFWs around the world. Streaming live on www.facebook.com/DZRJ 810 AM or on YouTube, channel RJAM News. To all Teleradio Bandido viewers and listeners, you can now watch Teleradio Bandido on our new YouTube channel, RJAM News. Hit the subscribe button and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup.
A straight question deserves a straight answer. Presenting straight from Radio Bandido in partnership with the Philippine Star. An ongoing question and answer series with candidates for the May 9 elections. This week's candidate, Secretary Sal Panelo, answers the question straight. This is straight from Radio Bandido.
Secretary Panelo, you are very close to President Duterte. What do you think President Duterte will do after his term? Do you think he will retire? And if the newly elected president invites him to join the next administration, do you think he will accept?
I think he will not retire in oblivion. He will be active, articulating certain interests protective of the people. Now, the question is, will he accept any position in the new administration? I do not think so. Even if he does not accept anything, any position, he remains very, very interested in the affairs of the government.
Thank you, Secretary Panelo.
That was straight from Radio Bandido. Stay tuned daily till Election Day for this ongoing series.
Chit Chat with Double V with host Vivian Velez is a program that breaks down important national concerns, events, and stories, featuring newsmaker interviews and compelling features to add context, clarity, and answer the questions on your mind. Every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on Teleradio Bandido TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, GMA Afforda Box, Easy Box, and all DTT boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 810 AM. Seen on Facebook /DZRJ 810 AM and YouTube channel RJAM News.
It's really yung coalition, no, na bumubuo ng isang Pilipinas. So paano talaga yung nagsama-sama? Parang all of a sudden we all thought na ay teka muna, this should be parang ganon. Meron ka bang ma-share?
Well,
kasi madami-dami to, di ba, Elmer? Maraming different big groups, di ba?
Yes.
Coming together, yeah. Oo.
Yeah, you're perfectly right in saying na parang short of siguro talagang because the current, the tide on the ground, the writing on the wall, the voices of ordinary people, actually I think that compelled us all to come together, coalesce, in the belief that we cannot let our country down again and be put wayward
Yeah.
and be left to someone that we know is weak, no track record, only borrowing from his namesake. And worst of it all is being dragged into a serious controversy in substance abuse. So, sobra na to, Vivian. I may look young, Vivian, but I am,
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
zone to really
I think
help this
unstable na naman.
country save this future, not for me, but for my son and the son of my son and everything. So this is very important, and I think yun yung nagtulak sa ating lahat. Actually, if I may share to your viewers and followers,
Wala na ako.
kami kami sa Ikaw Muna Pilipinas agonized because even before our March 9, Vivian, really yung mga chapters namin across the country have initiated without asking us even. And since we are we exercise democracy and we respect participative governance and leadership, pinakinggan namin. And even before we formally joined on March 9, talagang nanguna na sila at sinasabi na nila na ito ang tama at ito ang sinisigaw sa baba. So if you ask me, this is just being responsive to the call of the times at kung ano yung kailangan ng bansa. So hindi na to nag-usap ng partido, hindi na to nag-usap ng mga emosyon, hindi na to nag-usap ng magkakaibigan tayo kaya dapat dito tayo. This is all about what's best for the country. Yon, I don't know.
Yon, yan. Kasi very important din, medyo nawala na naman ako kanina. I was, yung aking unstable internet. But yeah, it was very well explained, Elmer, kasi parang, it is not really orchestrated in a way, di ba? Kumbaga, talagang, the same goal, the same sentiment na talagang yung mga grupo-grupo nag-usap-usap and talagang nag-gel lang talaga po yung mga coalition ng isang Pilipinas that I think we found ourselves to be having the same kumbaga yung as you were saying kanina yung ating adhikain in a way kung ano yung talagang dapat na mangyari dun sa eleksyon kasi nakikita na nga natin kung ano yun. But then bago doon, siguro pag-usapan din natin, Elmer, yung nakakabuti ba sa atin yung party system na ginagawa natin na yung pwede tayong mag-choose, yung parang dun sa multi-party system na tinatawag natin, Kasi yung mga, like for instance po, di ba po sa Amerika, it's block voting. So, meaning, pag yung presidente, tapos may vice president siya, pag binoto natin siya, kasi two-party system lang po ang Amerika. So, pagka binoto natin yon magkakasama na sila doon. Whereas sa atin, we are allowed by law to choose kung sino yung gusto nating tandem. What do you think about that, Elmer?
Well,
nakakabuti ba yun sa atin?
Well, sa totoo lang, medyo may problema talaga yung ating electoral system and electoral process. That's why I think isa sa nabanggit na yata, narinig ko yan kay Yorme, and I think even Mayor Inday, meron silang synergy in the area of there has to be electoral reform. Ang weird nga dapat talaga naman, there's got to be the country should begin voting based on principles. Unfortunately, yun nga, nasabi mo, our law allows it to happen na you can choose a different president, a different vice president. It is, hindi ba dapat talaga naman silang magkasama at nagtutulungan? So, but that is a reflection of the thoroughly lacking concept of principled and program-based politics. That's the problem.
Correct.
So, until ito ay ma-reform, it is best to our advantage dahil hindi siya party-based. Ngayon, sasabihin mo na parang okay na rin kasi makakapili ka. Pero in the longer term, I would say it's not. It's not really because people are voting based on personalities, not on platforms. Tanggapin na natin ang katotohanan. Diba? So that's a problem by itself. So hopefully, no, if we make Isko Moreno and Sara win, and they share, they talk about federalism. Yorme is talking about changing the way we do elections. Baka magbago, and the people will begin voting based on the programs. Okay? Ngayon, hindi pa siya ganyan.
Kasi di pa. Kasi nga, parang there's a notion kasi, no? Kasi, really understanding it, kung bakit nila ginawang split ticket. So we have to understand why they did it that way, no? Yeah. So I think there was a notion na kaya sila nag-split ticket na yan, it's because of check and balance. Parang ganon, na parang pagka may presidente, so medyo pipili ka ng hindi niya ka-ticket para may transparent check and balance. That is the notion, no? Why they did the split ticket. Because if you really think about it, bakit nga pala nila ginawa under the Constitution na magkaroon ng split ticket, no? So, but then that doesn't follow anymore because now we're seeing, I mean, for us, sa isang Pilipinas, we're taking advantage of that law because walang two-party system, so therefore we are allowed to really choose, no? But in this sense, this time, parang may sense yung split ticket.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang may sense siya. Parang minsan magpapasalamat ka. We know, we understand na yung sinasabi natin instead of yung catch all parties kasi instead of yung nangyayari kasi parang Filipino voters go to the polls to choose who will govern them but not necessarily how they will be governed. Kasi nga walang, di ba, walang platapormang pinag-uusapan. Wala. So, ngayon, but really thinking about it, kunyari, let's say, an example lang is BBM and Sara, and then Isko, of course, and Talk Really. But if you really study it, yung kay BBM and Sara, pulls apart ang kanilang ideological yung organization nila. Pati yung the way yung kanilang plataforma, no? But of course, it is not so clear kung ano yung plataforma nila because I have not heard them in debates, and things like that. But ang naririnig ko lang puro pagkakaisa. Yun lang ang naririnig ko sa kanila and that's about it, no? Pero ibig ko sabihin, knowing Sara and knowing, the other party, parang magkalayo sila. So, even with, of course, even with Isko, no, and Doc Willie, no? Si Doc Willie kasi, somehow, nakikilala pa lang natin ngayon at nagpapakilala pa lang siya sa atin, aside from being in a medical field, meron pa ba siyang alam na iba?
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
Parang ganon.
Correct.
Pero, pag pinagsama mo yung Isko at saka Sara, it makes more sense. For me, why does it make more sense? Unang-una, the approach in governing would be almost the same because both of them are mayors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diba? Parang
correct.
ganon. Oo, parang ganon. So, really thinking about it, there is advantages and disadvantages. Most probably, as you were saying, Elmer, parang disadvantage, di ba? Medyo disadvantage siya kasi we know that yung nagiging personality-based instead of platforms. Pagkatapos, minsan nagiging yung partnership for convenience lang.
Yes, yes.
Di ba?
Yeah,
partnership
exactly.
for convenience. And then, tapos pagka nanalo na, minsan may indication of open hostility naman for both, like what happened to Duterte and Lenny.
Yeah.
Diba? Open hostility naman nangyaring gano'n.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I may butt in, if I may cut you, number one, I want to
Yes,
siguro
yeah, you're my guest.
let us ako I would say let us disabuse our mind in saying lagi na kaya tayo gusto natin ng kaya may ganyan para may pangontra. That is not the role of how democratic institutions are structured. The check and balances happen. We have
Yes.
a Congress that is independent. We have the Supreme Court that is independent, and you have the executive. So, but we cannot by matter of choice and by principle. Bakit por Diyos por Santo pinapayagan natin na magkaroon, ini-instigate natin na dapat magkalaban agad yung may fiscalizer quote and quote sa loob ng executive? Ikakampi niya yan. Kaya tignan mo, Vivian, kasaysayan natin. Karamihan ng Vice President, pagkaupo, bigyan mo ng honeymoon period ng 1 year, 2 years, ay nag-iisipan na, nakatingin na the President is watching his back, her back, because baka saksakin siya ng Vice President. Okay? So, same, ito naman si Vice President, forma-forma na, hindi ba dapat sila nag-work together? It should be a team. Now, the fiscalization happens with other co-equal branches of government. That's why the Congress should be independent, and same with the Supreme Court. Diba? Kaya nga meron tayong judiciary eh. So that's point number one. And then,
Yes.
yung sinasabi natin yun, what happens today is tama yung sinabi mo. The choice of a team usually is governed by politics and convenience.
Yes.
Diba? Without naming names. Halimbawa, eto, didiretsuhin ko na. So, totoo lang, ako maka-isko ako by heart. Pero alam namin dapat si Sara ang naging presidente. Kaya nagagalit si Presidente Duterte. Pasintabi na po. Para nilang inuto. Nagagalit si Presidente, i-echo ko to. Gawin nyo siyang Vice President. Saka yung mataas sa survey. Tapos uutuin nyo. Parang ganon, di ba? I could feel the old man, his feelings.
Yeah.
What transpired. Kaya, ora mismo, nagiwa niya kahit spur of the moment. Mag-file ka, Bongo. Mag-file ako, Senador. Galit, di ba? Because nagalit.
Yes.
And so that's political machinations. So,
Yes.
was there sense? Again, going back, that's another point. No? So it's politics of convenience.
Okay.
And pure machinations. Then tama ka, walang platform. Now, bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng isko, Sara? Because, bakit namimili ang tao? Because gusto niya ng kakampi. Gusto natin ng merong magtutulungan. Hindi na natin gusto yung nag-aaway. Ayaw na nga natin ng away ng pula, dilaw, pink, whatever. Pagod na ang tao dyan. So that's the point eh. And I think that's the sentiment that is what we are trying to capture via Isang Pilipinas. We want to move on. We want to make our country grow and become part of those developed nations that all we do is envy for the longest time.
Yes.
Puro na lang tayo nga. Halimbawa, pupunta tayo abroad. Kita natin sa Hong Kong, Singapore, US, etc. Ang ganda naman ng transport system. Ang bilis naman ng internet. Ang disiplina naman. Wala tayong ginawa kundi mainggit. Diba? Hindi ba tayo pwedeng tayo naman? Diba? Hindi ba pwedeng maging bahagi na tayo ng League of Progressive Nations? And I think that's what we mirror. That's what we can see with the tandem. No? That they can reflect. No? Yun lang.
Dyan lang naman sa mga social media and sometimes in the mainstream media, no? Parati nilang sinasabi na kung ganon, sabi nga, ibig niyang sabihin, kawawa naman si Doc Willie or kawawa naman si Vivian because nilaglag ng kanilang mga magka-partners. Di ba? Usually, we hear that, right? All the time. And what can you say about this?
Alam mo, sorry ako
Mm.
In the case of the tandem of Mayor Inday, hindi ako siguro I have lesser there is no love lost. No, I have no love
Okay.
lost, and in fact, so hindi yan. Maraming ang problema yan eh. Daming ang bagahe eh. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
Meron yang atraso sa buong, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, inuusig sa buong mundo. Tinawag na nga ni Presidente Duterte, weak leader.
Yes.
Gusto ba natin ng weak leader? At tanungin ko lang, gusto ba natin ng weak leader? Gusto ba natin ng leader na habulin tayo ng buong mundo? May asunto yan. Gusto ba natin ng leader na wala namang nagawa at nasasangkot pa sa mismong parang pag binasa mo si Presidente, wala namang ibang tinutukoy na medyo may hindi magandang bisyo.
Yes.
So, ayoko niyan. Ayoko niyan. Hindi ko pwedeng tanggapin yan.
Correct.
So, pagdating kay Doc Willie, yan yung mas parang may tama eh. Pero again, sabi nga natin, this is not about personalities. This is not about friendship. This is not about affinity. This is about our country. And believe you me, if we ensure the victory of Isko Moreno and Sara Duterte, Doc Willie will definitely be useful in governance. At the very least, in being the lead health czar, if I don't know what, kailangan natin siya. His talent will be of better use once we ensure a victory of the two. I can count on that. Feel na feel ko yan.
Yes.
So hindi natin siya, I have high regards, but we have to think bigger and look strategic. And I think the move of isang Pilipinas is towards that direction.
Yes, very well said, Elmer. But then also we want the people to know na talagang we did not ask naman the permission, di ba? Talaga ni Yorme and also Mayora Sara. We did not ask their permission if we can do this kasi ito naman supporters initiative naman natin, ano? So people's choice, as we're saying. Wala pong kinalaman. Kumbaga, wala po silang kinalaman na kaya wala pong laglagan na nangyayari. And then, as we are saying, kasi naman, it is, for us naman, as supporters, we are allowed to really pick and choose, no? Kasi that is, that was given to us by, constitutionally, we are, kumbaga, on the right path kasi bakit nila sinabing pwedeng single ticket? In other words,
correct.
That means meron pong merong ibig sabihin yon kung bakit po pumapayag ang nag-frame ng ating law na magkaroon tayo ng single ticket. And we're using this to our advantage at this point. Kasi nakita natin, tama pala yung single ticket when it comes to this. To Isko and Sara, doon talaga nag-a-apply kung bakit nandyan ang single ticket na batas. So that is very clear kasi we don't want to hear it anymore because alam mo, minsan, di ba, Elmer, they want to sometimes discredit the group in a way and even the candidates themselves. So minsan, kawawa rin naman sila dahil wala rin naman silang kinalaman doon sa naging pasya, diba? Naging desisyon ng coalition. That has to be very, very clear. At yung mga iba siguro, I don't know, nagbubulag-bulagan lang siguro, Elmer. They just don't want to understand kung ano yung hindi naman action demokratiko, no? Like for instance, on the side of Isko and not lakas dun sa side naman ni Sara. So they have nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
We're independent. So I think we will just have to pause for a commercial. Yeah. All right. We'll be back, Elmer.
Sure.
Ang ating kapangyarihan ay para sa mga walang kapangyarihan.
Salamat, Senator Laila de Lima, sa pagpasa ng batas sa 4Ps. May laban kami sa gutom at sakit. Kasama mo kami sa laban mo, Senator Laila.
Yan si Senador Laila. Kahit ginipit at ipinakulong, nagtatrabaho, lumalaban. Ibalik ang hustisya.
Angat Pinoy, sabay-sabay babangon. Angat Pinoy, angat ang hanap buhay. Mga kababaihan, iangat natin. Angat tayo lahat.
Angat Pinoy, party list ng micro, small and medium enterprises ng kababaihan. Angat Pinoy, tutulungan umasenso ang mga negosyo ng kababaihan upang guminhawa ang buhay ng kanilang pamilya.
Angat tayo lahat.
Tandaan, Angat Pinoy Party List.
All right, are we live again? Okay, that was a fast commercial because normally, all right. Okay. Mabilis lang pala yun, Elmer. Anyway, yes. Okay, so that explains well kung bakit naging ganyan, ano, at naging ganyan na naging pa siya ng isang Pilipinas coalition na sinasabi natin. Kabisado mo ba, Elmer, kung sino itong mga coalition at mabanggit naman natin sila isa-isa?
Sige. I'll try my very best.
Try your best.
Yeah.
Umpisahan ko na yun sa akin, yung Isko Tayo Coalition. Okay. And then,
so, yeah, pangalawa po, yung grupo naming Ikaw Muna Pilipinas, humbly speaking po, yung grupo po namin ang isa sa mga unang nanawagan kay Yorme na tumakbo sa pagkapangulo. Nung last year pa po yan, around May, April, wala pa sa hinagap niya, pinag-aaralan. Yun yung pangalawa pong grupo. Pangatlong grupo po yung IM4P, Isko Moreno for President. Alam nyo, ito po yung grupo ni Colonel Danny Enriquez na dati pong MP Nation. Grupo po ito ni nung dating ni Senator Manny Pacquiao na nag-switch, pumunta po sa atin. Nagsumama na rin. That's the third group. Pang-apat po yung IMP 2020. Ito naman po yung karamihan po rito, yung mga kapatid nating Muslim, sa pangunguna po ni Attorney Rap Kusain. No? That's IM4P. Then, fifth po, meron po tayong Alagang Isko. Ito pong Alagang Isko, karamihan po mga lay ministers, mga youth, mga taong simbahan po, led by no less than Father Nat Mariano. Alagang Isko. Pang-anim po yung grupong Bagong Noipi. Yung Bagong Noipi po is one of the campaign volunteer organizations ng dating the late President Noynoy Aquino. Noong 2010, isa sila sa campaigners led by Juby Katahoy. So yun na po yung pang-anim. Pang-pito po yung Yes Isko naman, maliliit na negosyante na nandyan po yung sa panguna po nila board member Kaloy Bolilla ng Batangas at ni Chris Bracamonte, no? Maliliit na negosyante po yan, tumutulong-tulong para i-promote sa hanay ng mga small entrepreneurs si Yorme. So that's 7. Ang pangwalo po ay ang IM4P, sana hindi ko makalimutan lahat. Of course, yung pong I think na-cover ko lahat. IM4P, Yeah, sana wala akong nakalimutan.
And, lagot ka pag may nakalimutan ka.
Yeah.
Anyway, but then aside from that, kasama rin naman natin yung IZA, di ba, ni Congressman Dong Mangandadato, no? Kasama rin natin sila. And then, of course, kasama rin po natin, of course, magkakasama because of the same goal of Isko Sara tandem would be ang VISA, no? Visayas Isko Sara Alliance, no? Nandyan din po sila. At andyan din po, syempre, ang MRRD, no?
Yes.
Also supporting Isko Sara tandem. So meron pong mga magkakasama, and then sabi nga natin, marami pa rin naman pong gustong pumasok to really support, no, the tandem of Isko Sara. So okay, so napag-usapan na po natin yan. Ngayon, ang gusto ko naman na pag-usapan natin bakit si Isko at bakit si Sara. No? Pag-usapan natin, siguro umpisahan muna natin kung bakit si Sara, no, as a VP, Vice President. What do you think, Elmer? What made you choose?
Sa totoo lang, we have seen her not just a worthy vice presidential candidate. In fact, prior to this political realignments, prior to what happened to her na para siyang nauto, naloko, she is a presidential material actually. Okay? Whatever reason they say na bata pa siya, whatever, it's not that. It's about the character, the make, and pinatunayan yan. Fearless si Mayor Inday. Fearless, young, and ang hirap po siyang i-telegraph yung mga punches niya. No, literally. No? So kailangan mo siyang tignan na so dynamic, so fluid. And in a fast-changing world, and with so many developments and challenges that we face, we need non-conventional leaders, and I see that in Sara.
Yeah, and also, of course, the fact that she is the daughter of President Duterte. So, yeah. So it means, because kami naman ang isinisigaw namin noon is really continuity, no? And who's the best person to continue the legacy of the father than the daughter? Kasi syempre, importante yung ating continuity in a way na marami namang napakitang magaganda, no, si President Duterte, at maraming nabinbin na mga projects po si Pangulong Duterte because he was hijacked by the pandemic, for at least 2 years, no?
2 years.
So, and he keeps on saying, 2 years, medyo he felt na he was shortchanged in a way na kasi hindi pa niya napakita yung talagang full force of the changes that he wants to do. So, ito nga, so when we saw in Sara na sana ma-continue niya, no, yung kanyang yung legacy ni Presidente Duterte. And then ako, nung nakita ko naman kay Sara is really what probably he got from his father is the transparency, no? Medyo ganun siya, no, 'di ba? Very transparent in the way he deals with even in Davao, as a mayor, maraming nagsasabi sa atin doon na very transparent siya in how he governs, no, the government. So maraming no, she's only 43 years old, Elmer.
Yeah, and this is 47.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? This will be the first time that we will have the youngest tandem, the youngest president and vice president. Correct.
But then pag-usapan na rin natin bago tayo mag-transition kay Isko, no. Yung para meron kwentong konti, no. At hindi naman tayo insider, but then hindi naman ganon, kaya lang nakatutok kasi tayo sa kanila, no. Yung controversy na kung bakit si BBM ang kanyang pinili, because I get that questions all the time na bakit daw hindi ako sumasama dun sa ini-endorso ng ni Sarah, because I came from Sarah All. Kasama po ako sa Sarah All and yung Solid Sarah supporters. So kami ang nagtatag niyan. And so maraming tanong kung bakit yung mga DDS and kung bakit hindi po sila sumama kay Mayora. Siguro sasagutin ko yon, Elmer, no? Para once and for all. Alam niyo po kasi dito sa grupo, no, nung nag-endorse si Mayora Sara, he endorsed BBM Marcos Jr. Nagsalita rin ng kanyang ama. 'Di ba? When he also the father said that Marcos Jr. is a weak leader, maraming bagahe, and he will not endorse PBM. So doon medyo nagkaroon ng chaos, Elmer. Kasi parang, who do we follow now? Do we follow the Sarah? Do we follow Sarah? Or do we follow the father? Di ba? Parang ganun na eh. So nagkaroon ng medyo chaos, nagkaroon ng medyo talagang yung pag-iisip ng malalim, no, kung paano ang gagawin ng mga grupo. Maraming syempre yung mga sinasabi ko nga natangay sa Agos, no, papunta dun sa kay BBM. But then we stood firm na sinabi nga namin, let's wait for a while and really think about it. And what does Marcos Jr. stands for? Meaning, sino ba si BBM? Kasi hindi naman po pwede yung endorsement namin, yung support namin kay Sarah is only for Sarah. 'Di ba? Because what she stands for. Pero yung i-endorse niya, kasi alam naman natin, 'di ba, politics of convenience, or magkaibigan lang naman kasi sila, hindi pa naman sila magkakilala siguro. I don't know if they had the chance to interact with each other, yung kay Isko. 'Di ba? Parang wala yatang chance, no, for them, no. So we don't even know the other candidates kung kanino siya magpa-partner. So yun po, sa akin clear, no. Sabi ko nga, father knows best, at mas alam kasi ni Presidente Duterte, Pangulo, kung ano talaga ang sitwasyon, no.
Yes,
I got cut off again. Go ahead, you're saying something.
We lost you. Anyway, tama yun dahil una talagang lang. Ako I pity, I can feel the angst of Mayor Inday because talagang she was just caught between a political situation to agree probably whether pinaniwala siyang hindi niya kaya pa, it doesn't count. No, it doesn't count. Remember, before they had this thing together, BBM Marcos Jr. was way below the surveys.
Correct.
It was Sara Duterte on top, Isko Moreno second, I think third or fourth, alternately si Lenny at si Marcos. So it's no-brainer really to think na sa totoo lang nagamit si Inday Sara. Nagalit siya. Sa totoo lang. And that is the intention na sana makita ng mga tao yon. And I understand. I've been talking to several groups na oo nga forced to good lang. Pero and then the father continuously, and recently there was a post na nagpapasabi siya na I don't know if that was, I think that was true, that is true. So in an SMI interview, I don't pa sana ang sunod na presidente, dapat mayor. So alam mo naman si presidente, ang daming mga parang parabol, di ba? Mga matalingaga.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Elmer, because ito, konting kwentong Marites, no? We were, because, it is really, talagang nagtataka kami because when both of them, when Sarah went to Cebu, no? And alam naman namin na at that time talagang the father really wants her to be, to run for president at that time, no? Kaya si Senator Bongo really, they filed for VP at that time, nag-VP siya. So, may nangyari because something happened in Cebu, and then as you were saying, parang yun na nga, whatever was said in those meeting, meron tayong but we cannot really confirm, not unless they confirm it themselves, no? Pero meron mga nangyari doon, and we kaya nga nung sabi nga ni Presidente yung kanyang last interview, minsan lang and ni Sarah, and hindi naging maganda yung pag-uusap namin. So that means something happened along the way, we can say, na, so medyo malalim, no? Malalim yon, at hindi nga namin malaman, no? Kasi as you were saying, front runner siya, then all of a sudden, biglang, when she filed na lang for VP, and then si Bongbong, and then she endorsed, Sarah endorsed BBM, dun tumaas yung rating.
Exactly. And it's no secret. And then, ang problema, we have to constantly remind people of the chain of events. And ang problema minsan, ang ikli ng memorya ng tao.
Yes.
At, ang ikli, kailan lang yan, mga kapatid. Isipin natin lahat ng bagay. So, but the thing here, I cannot, you cannot biro mo, kung ang isang Inday Sara na strong na ay nauto nila, ano tingin natin ginagawa niya sa atin, sa mamamayan, na with all the promises ng ginto, diba?
Yes.
Imagine, papangakuan mo yung taong bayan. It's like a fairy tale, folklore, or I don't know what you call that.
Yes.
But can you govern on the basis of promising a fairy tale, assuming, granting that it's true, ang programa mo, kung mayaman ka, pamimigay mo yung pera mo. That is on the assumption na kanya. But knowing well that it is highly contestable because they are under litigation and convicted of several crimes. Not only in Philippine courts, but elsewhere. How can we stomach that, my friends, in the country of the Philippines? I cannot understand. I cannot.
Yun na nga, Elmer, di ba? May nagkwento sa akin, who is that from, I forgot his name, di ba? Kinukwento niya, alam mo, ang pinakamahirap kasi na hindi nila nakikita yung talagang, the faults and the negatives and whatnot, of that candidate, of Bongbong, is really because marami daw talagang naniniwala dun sa ginto. Totoo pala yun.
Yeah. Ako hindi ako maniwala until I keep on hearing that here and there. Yeah. And then here's the thing. Ito, I have to use this occasion. Alam mo, I'm trying to understand. I won't call them bobo the way the other camps are calling the masa bobo.
Yeah.
They are not.
Okay.
It's as simple as this, Viv.
Yeah.
Ako, out of desperation ng tao, whether true or not, they are clinging on that belief that he might, he may not, he might. Because out of desperation, what if, kesa bigyan siya ng isang politiko ng 1,000, 2,000, 500, whatever, doon na nga ako, 1 gold bullion, worth $1 million, kung totohanin niya, can you imagine that psyche?
Yeah.
For a poor guy, Viv, yung who has never imagined, have never seen a 10 bundle crisp of comprising 1 million, never in his lifetime. Then suddenly here comes someone promising, pag ako, maraming mga ginto Talyano, bibigyan ko kayo, tig 1 milyon. Ang halaga niyan. ikaw na mahirap, ikaw na through all your life, you have never seen, you have never imagined, ever. You have never hoped to have 1 million or about, kakapitan mo eh. And that is sad because that is taking advantage of the poverty, of the situation of the people. Instead of liberating them, helping them teach and making them grow as a person, wala bubulagin. Unfortunately, yan yung bait niya, which is sad.
Yeah, it is. It is. I really cannot also phantom that that meron palang ganon, you know. Really, I mean, I thought sabi kong ganon, paano nila napapaniwala yung mga tao? But you know, you explained it well na talagang ganon nga, no. But then so pag-usapan din natin mamaya siguro, no, yung kung paano magiging credible ang ating election if this is the case, no? Kasi parang as you were saying na nga kanina na parang because and ang mga tao talagang kailangan ng pera, and we heard also na marami ring talaga nagpapakawala, no, at this point. So ibig ko sabihin nagiging negosyo ang election in a way that pagkakailangan ng mga hakot, pagkailangan ng mga ganyan, di ba? Nakita naman natin yan. So anyway, pag-usapan natin yan later on. So gusto ko ngayon pag-usapan natin si Isko. Okay. Bakit si Isko? Because I think most importantly, alam naman natin, Elmer, that the power lies in the presidency. Kumbaga, ito yung ultimate, di ba? Yun ang the highest position in land. So ito yung pinaka-importante na posisyon na iboboto natin, at nagkataon itong 2022, boboto po tayo ng isang Pangulo ng Republika. So, syempre, ang unang tanong bakit si Isko?
Yeah. Siguro, Vivian, I will take advantage of this question portion. When you talk about yung Lean Six Sigma, sabi ko, certified Lean Six Sigma Black Belter, hindi po ako karatista. Lean Six Sigma is one of the most advanced management tool being used by major companies the world over. It's it's a tool of how to minimize errors and wastes in management. So it's so ingrained in me, and I see government is one major organization that needs a lot of re-engineering in terms of how it does its business. Alam mo, nanggaling din ako sa gobyerno. Yan, kapanahon. Early on, pag-upo ni Presidente Duterte, kasama ko si Tim Orbos. Umupo kami sa MMDA while he became OIC chairman. We founded the Interagency Council for Traffic, and then we went to DOTR. Prior to that, I was the chief of staff of Ding Dong Dantes. So there is so much waste in government. There is so much errors in government in the way it does things. So, kaya that's my cue. Unang-una, I like Yorme because he is not only bilis kilos, but he is setting standards which are pegged on global baseline. Okay, kumbaga, nagpo-promote siya ng global excellence. Bakit? Kita mo naman yung programa niya, hindi pang mema lang eh. Diba? Magtayo ka ba naman? Natatawa ako, minsan naluluha ako doon. Magpapabahay ka sa mahihirap. Natatalunin yung kondo na binibili mo ng milyon or about na malalaking developer. 40 square meters. Hindi yun. May butas ng aircon. At tinatanong siya, bakit may butas ng aircon dyan? May naka-ready. Sabi niya, bakit? Ang mga recipient niyan, mga mahihirap. Yung mga dating basurero rin, mga slum, informal settlers. Yeah. Bakit may butas? Bakit? Gusto niyo bang habang buhay na magpaypay? O natutulog sa ilalim ng kulambo? that became aspirational. And then they laugh at it. Every day na makikita niyan, there's a drive. Diba? And that is something. Diba?
Yeah.
Now look at the hospitals that he is trying to build. He builds hospitals that he wants to be at par, if not better, than the major private hospitals for the masa. Who will ever think, lagi lang tayo, mag-mema lang, meron lang maibigay na ospital. Diba? Masabi lang.
Yeah.
So these setting the standards. Unfortunately, yung iba kaya nai-insecure kasi nga tinaas niya yung bar of public service. Diba? And so on and so forth. Yung kanyang Manila Zoo, iniintriga pa, ito binuhay niya ngayon at ang peg niya parang Singapore. Kailan ba tayo nakakita ng leader na tinitingnan niya yung best practices the world over?
Yeah.
And that is important, especially in the face of, sabi ko nga, this post-pandemic thing will demand so much of our leaders in terms of how do you rebuild the country? Aside from rebuilding, how do you make a quantum leap? From being a so-so, a third world country, tama na yung third world mentality. Lagi, alam mo, problema
yung
natin.
pwede na. Pwede na yan. Pwede na yan.
Pwede na. Ano yun? Ganun na lang tayo. Saka yung kawawa mentality, yung third world mentality, yung pahingi. Kawawa kami, pahingi. Di ba tayo mag-aspire na tayo naman yung mamimigay? And it's all about mindset. And that is the thing I want with Yorme. So, setting the global perspective and then agile leadership. Bilis kilos, walang tulog-tulog. Di natutulog. Diba? And then, importantly, he wants to continue the change process. Kaya match sila ni Sarah.
Yes.
Diba sabi niya, tutuloy niya build. Pero ngayon nag-innovate yung mama. Build. Build more hospitals, build more schools, build more housing. Diba?
Yes.
So I can imagine if he becomes the president and Sarah the vice president, there will be a real estate boom. Boom lahat yan. Dahil I can imagine tayuan ng mga vertical buildings just like in Singapore. Right?
Yes.
So, and so on and so forth. Ang dami. Uubos, mamamaos ako. Pero, and then of course, sa mga kapatid nating Muslim.
Yes.
Napakasimple. Sino ba naman sa buong kasaysayan ng lahat ng mga umupo ang mag-iisip na lagyan siya ng maglagay sa Maynila ng Muslim cemetery?
Hundreds and hundreds of years walang nakagawa niyan. First time, right?
First time. And it is more than that.
Yes.
It speaks a lot. It speaks of volumes of understanding history and respect to our Muslim brothers. Right?
Correct.
Yan lang.
Correct.
Ang dami na. Titirang kita. Ikaw naman.
All of that, all of what you said, and marami pa po talaga. You know, one thing I like with him talaga is really, he's so approachable. Diba, Elmer? I mean, it's so easy to talk to him kasi minsan pagka nakipag-usap ka sa mga politiko, sometimes you don't even understand their language. You know, medyo paiikutin ka ng kung ano-ano pero alam mo namang bola. You know, pero alam natin yun, di ba? And sometimes, you know, yung kanilang, ideas and all of that, but you know that it's all just in their mind. Pero si Yorme kasi ibang klase, you know, when you, syempre yung mga iba ko siguro, sabi ko nga, the only, talaga setback, you know, with what is the campaign now, what is happening now, is not, kulang ang oras na makilala nila at marinig si Yorme. Kasi pag narinig nyo si Yorme at nakilala nyo si Yorme, talagang hands down, you know, you would really want him to be the next president etong 2022. Talaga pong ibang klase siya pag makipag-usap, talagang ramdam mo yung sinseridad niya. So, ako, marami na rin ako nakakausap, di ba, Elmer? Marami na rin ako nakakausap ng mga politiko. Ibang-iba siya. Talagang Siguro dahil naiintindihan niya ang lahat ng antas ng tao. Ibig ko sabihin, mahirap ka, mayaman ka, or kahit na sino ka, di ba? Intindi niya yung tao. So I think that is very important, yung empathy and siguro nga dahil galing siya sa mahirap, so naiintindihan niya and then he can relate, di ba? He can relate dahil para sa akin, lalo na yung mga tumatakbo ngayon, wala akong makita na I mean the combination of knowledge, no, at saka yung pagsisikap, at saka yung he can relate to people that's having difficulties. Wala akong nakikitang ganun kundi siya lang. Wala nang iba. So I just don't know how we can really convey that to people. And sabi ko nga, alam mo, minsan sasabihin ng mga tao na how sometimes kasi people when they vote, di ba, they vote for the winning candidate. Hindi, paano yan? Doon ako sa paano kasi sigurado na mapanalo na yun. Mataas ang survey and all of that, di ba? Sabi ko nga, siguro maraming silent majority and then eventually, sabi ko nga, it's divine providence that, Isko will win. Pero para sa akin, I feel proud that I am supporting him because I know he is the right person. Kumbaga, malinis ang konsensya ko, malinis ang utak ko na, I picked the right one. Kesa naman yung nangampanya ka. Tapos bakit mo kinakampanya yung taong yan? Magnanakaw yan. Bakit mo kinakampanya yung taong yan?
Yes.
Bobo na yan. Why? Paano mo makapaliwanag yan? Di ba?
Paano mo ikakampanya yung King of the Snort? Paano mo ikakampanya yung King of the Snort? Di ba? Kung nanonood ka ng Game of Thrones, King of the Snort, how do you contain that? Anyway, pero yeah, tama ka. Viv. The challenge amongst us or those people that know him, our groups, and even not part of our group, all the people who knows him, become the evangelizers, let's all become the messengers of who Isko and what he represents. It's kind of tight, but we're not shit. There's still time as long as many and all of us will move. And yun nga eh. I think apparently Marcos Jr. is going down. Isko is going up, but we have to hasten the velocity. Speed up the velocity para magpang-abot. And then by the time that it's the day of reckoning, then we will get the results that we all hope for.
Yeah, I think we're going to break. So pakinggan po natin to because I think it is one of those commercials. So sige, let's break for a commercial muna.
PBA Party List for Youth and Sports. Tuloy ang pagtulong sa inyo. Legal, financial, medical assistance. Magbibigay ng scholarship. Focusing on youth and sports. Yeah. PBA Party List.
Guys, palabas na ng ospital si May pero kulang pa daw siya ng 10,000. Ambagan sana tayo.
Sige.
Dito nyo na lang lagay kung magkano yung kaya nyo.
Ako naman nakaisip nitong ambagan, kaya akin na lang ang sobra.
Maliit man o malaki, ang korupsyon ay korupsyon. Kapag hinayaan, sisirain ito ang kinabukasan ng bayan. Kaya maglakas loob sumigaw ng,
Hindi sa'yo yan!
Hindi sa'yo yan!
A straight question deserves a straight answer. Presenting straight from Radyo Bandido in partnership with the Philippine Star. An ongoing question and answer series with candidates for the May 9 elections. This week's candidate, Vice Presidential aspirant, Senate President Vicente Soto III, answers the question straight. This is straight from Radyo Bandido.
In case Senator Bongbong Marcos wins the presidency and you win as vice president, can you work in harmony with him? How is your relationship with Senator Bongbong Marcos?
That question was asked of me in a debate, and my answer then was that I have never given it a thought yet, because we were concentrated on our own campaign during that time. But perhaps now that you've asked it again, let me see. We've worked together for 6 years in the Senate, and my track record shows that I can work with 23 other republics. You cannot be Senate President in harmony if you are not able to work with everyone. In minority, whether it's they come from the minority or the majority or on the critical side, if I can call it that. And then we've known each other. We're friends. It's probably obvious that I can work with anyone. In this case, I distinctly recall that even before we filed our certificates of candidacy, Senator Marcos and I met in a private meeting, and we actually discussed about the forthcoming elections and the situation of the country during that time. So if I can work with 23 republics, I'm sure I'll be able to work to whoever wins as a president.
Thank you, Senator Soto.
That was straight from Radyo Bandido. Stay tuned daily till Election Day for this ongoing series.
Chit Chat with Double V with host Vivian Velez is a program that breaks down important national concerns, events, and stories, featuring newsmaker interviews and compelling features to add context, clarity, and answer the questions on your mind. Every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on Teleradio Bandido TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, GMA Afforda Box, Easy Box, and all DTT boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Seen on Facebook /DZRJ 8:10 a.m. and YouTube channel RJAM News.
Okay, we're back. Of course, with our guest, Elmer Argaño. Well, thank you of section siya ng Isang Pilipinas. Ano? That was a break. Pinag-uusapan natin kanina kasi Elmer, no, about Yorme Isko, no, and why is it siyang ating kandidato, no, for May 2022. At very clear po sa atin na talaga namang kung susuruin nating mabuti, if we really talagang iisa-isahin natin at hindi na lang po tayo sumasama kung ano yung trend at kung ano yung survey at kung sino yung feeling mananalo na or anything like that. Importante po kung ano yung isusulat natin. Hindi na pala isusulat. Ano na? Shade doon sa ating balota. Until then, bago po natin yun i-shade, talagang importante na talagang yung ating iboboto ay yung alam natin na makakatulong sa atin. For that's another 6 years. At tayo ay nanggagaling sa isang pandemic, sa isang dagok, no, for 2 years, no, na isang pandemya. So napaka-importante po yung ating the next 6 years. At what can you say about that, Elmer? No, for another 6 years.
Well, you said it perfectly that this is so important that what we decide on as a country on May 2022 will talaga determine the fate of the country I think not only in the next 6 years, because this is important in setting the direction and the track, the recovery and the growth track. Yeah. Even Secretary Carl Chu of the NEDA said that it will take like something 40 years or about to bring back the same level of vigor of the economy, because what we had is like as worse, if not worse, than the crisis of World War II, the recession of World War II. So that's how important this exercise is. And sorry, nabilaukan ako nung narinig ko yung segment na in between natin puro programa, unity, wala akong, yung sinasabi niya, ginagawa na nung isa. Guys, it's like this. Hindi programa unity, it's a given. Diba? Kung kung sino ka man stupid, sasabihin mo sa akin, unity talaga kailangan yan. The president should unite the country. That's the role of the president. Now, it's not a program. No? Now, it's like this. Kung sabihin mong, si Orme ba, a person, a leader of faith? Not in any way, because when he sat as mayor, what he did, he reached out to all his opponents and even put them in positions as long as they are qualified. Yan ang healing at unifying leader. May pinakita na at hindi yung nagsasalita ka. Tinanong ka, anong programa mo sa ekonomiya? Unity. Diba? Anong gagawin mo sa pandemya? Unity. Yes. Kalokohan. Yes. That's a lot of bull. Sorry And yung sinasabi niya, ginagawa na, no? Hindi siya drawing. In motion, and it's being felt, and it not only by Manileños but people even outside of Manila. So, yun, I agree. Mag-isip po tayo, magnilay, dahil napaka-importante. Huwag natin tingnan yung mga pangako, tingnan natin yung konkreto, no? Dahil hindi pwedeng magbaka sakali, no? Let's use, hindi pwede. Kaya nga, yun nga, being a Six Sigma black belter, I go with the facts, I go with the numbers, I go with the bottom line. Yun ang importante. Laging may balance sheet, may scorecard and everything. Ano scorecard naman itong isa? Wala akong scorecard ng tatay niya. Pag maganda, yung magaganda raw ginawa ng tatay niya, kaya okay siyang iboto. Pag ang inaakusahan sa mga maling ginawa, hindi iba raw yung anak sa tatay. So that's the double standard.
Cherry picking.
Yes, exactly. Cherry picking.
Pero and as you were saying kanina, isa pa yung
Filipino heroism, ingenuity, marksmanship, tatak sa ludo kami. Isang pagkilala sa galing ng mamamayang Pilipino, hatid ay serbisyo saan man sa mundo. Natatanging kwento ng mga overseas Filipino workers, OFW advocates, legal luminaries, educators, scientists, and inventors. Mga piling Pilipinong patuloy na nag-aangat sa pagtingin at pagkilala ng sambayanan. Tatak sa ludo kami. Pinangungunahan ni Johnny Gomez. Tatak sa ludo kami. Tuwing araw ng Sabado mula alas 2 hanggang alas 3 ng hapon. Mapapanood at mapapakinggan sa DZRJ 8:10 AM sa Radio Bandido TV, Sky Cable Channel 224, TV Plus boxes at free to air. Simulcast live sa www.facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 AM at sa YouTube RJ AM News.
Well, sorry about that. Sorry about my internet. Talaga namang, Elmer. Talagang next, siguro pag nanalo na si Yorme, talagang yan ang tututukan natin, yung internet providers natin. So anyway, yeah. So going back, yung 10-point agenda nga ni Yorme, it's really very timely because alam natin, isa pa yung dapat nating pag-isipan aside from the pandemic, although we're coming back and coming back strong. Kanina, umikot-ikot ako and I can see that people are really raring to go out and, so yung commerce natin is medyo, I hope, medyo bouncing back. Pero ang problema naman natin is yung ating gulo, no? Yung ating war dito sa Europe. And kasi oil and gas producing country yung ating of course Russia, no, and also Ukraine. Napakalaking bagay nito, 'di ba, Elmer, to really think about it. Ang lakas ang gas mo, magkano na ang gas natin, 'di ba?
Hindi ko na nga tinitingnan, Viv, kung magkano yung presyo ng gasolina, basta sakay na lang ako, reload. Pero I think it's really unimaginable, and before you know it, mag-hit ng 80 or more per liter. The thing here, another reason why we need a strong leader, a visionary leader, an inspiring leader, is because no man is an island. And exactly what's happening in Europe will eventually slip through and impact us directly or indirectly. So ano sabihin nila? Wala tayong pakialam. Ang sinasabi nga dyan, yung mga binibila natin ng krudo, ng langis, ay natural, pa-prioritize nila to, at dahil mag-flex ng muscle ng European countries, bibigyan sila ng priority ngayon. Tayo ngayon, dahil etsepwera ka. So same goes with other countries na ngayon, magbabuffer sila. You don't know if this will spark another world war or whatever. And I don't know if you were the ones I'm talking to na we're not scaring people, but how World War II developed, it's not overnight. It was like a long process, girian, number of years, and then before we know it, ayan na. So, paano tayo dyan? No? Paano tayo dyan? Paano tayo haharap dyan? So, doon kailangan natin ng leader na hindi lang kumbaga nagsasabi, it's kailangan may global perspective. It cannot be na puro sarili lang natin, no? Kailangan may sensitivity sa nangyayari sa mundo. And I think the two, Isko and Sara, can effectively provide the country that kind of leadership attribute.
Well, we're coming to an end, but then I also want to touch this for just shortly, is really yung nangyayari naman dun sa, kasi very important din yung announcement ni, at saka nagkaroon kasi ng interview no, si Presidente when he said that ang mga dilawan medyo napasok na talaga ng mga komunista, no? And there are some intels that there's going to be parang i-disrupt, no, or just we don't know what's going to happen in the election day mismo ng May 9. So what do you think about this?
Well,
do you believe na merong ganon?
I think anything is possible. And we know that these groups, they have their own agenda. What would suit them best, of course, they will pursue that. And since they were given the platform, naturally, they will maximize that. And of course, the president, as you say, the father knows best. It's siyempre natural. It could be a possibility, and I will not be surprised if he will take action to avert whatever he deems is not good for the country.
Correct, because as I can see it, di ba? Kasi yung campaign din nung kabila, kasi all throughout this 4 or 5 years, talagang ang hina-hina na ng mga liberal, ng mga dilaw na sinasabi nila, no? In fact, even in their rallies or in their support of whoever, talagang halos wala na. Then all of a sudden, you see this propaganda and you see, money pouring in and things like that. And then, parang you can question, there's a question on who is moving this campaign for them, no? Medyo alarming in a way because it's the president who's saying this. So, syempre, alam naman natin, nasa kanya ang lahat ng intel, no? Lahat ng intelligence report, no? And if he says this, so that means he has basis, no, in saying this. So napaka-importante rin po yun. We'll have to be very vigilant in a way, no? Yun nga yung sinasabi natin because merong pula, alam naman natin yung sinasabi nila, we have to unite. So probably that's where he gets it because he knows that if he wins, there's going to be no unity that's going to happen kasi bangayan na naman ng bangayan yan at pag nanalo naman ng mga pinklawan or dilawans as they call it, talagang bangayan din ng bangayan yan. Never ending, no? Pero ang nakikita ko lang talaga, ang talagang unifying candidate would be Isko Moreno Domagoso. And of course, Sara, and because siya kasi parang as you know, in the survey, if we believe surveys, parang siya yung, kung hindi si BBM, si Marcos Jr. ang iboboto mo, sino iboboto mo, will always say Isko, di ba? At kung hindi si Lenny ang iboboto mo, sino iboboto mo, si Isko. So he's the highest in that. So that it only means na on both sides, tanggap siya. Diba? Tanggap siya ng Marcos camp, tanggap siya ng Lenny camp. Siya yung iboboto ng mga tao. So I guess it is a wise choice, no? Really, it's the best choice as we keep on saying, diba, Elmer? So so we have a few minutes. Any like as we say in parting words from you at ano yung pwede mong ibilin sa ating mga manonood at sa ating mga nakikinig at so siguro yung charging na ni Elmer. So last
sorry.
You can say your we can say your parting words now, Elmer, and ibilin mo na lang kung ano yung mangyayari sa atin in the next few days at magpapaalam na rin tayo. Go ahead, Elmer.
Sige. Thank you, Vivian, and this is a nice conversation, and I hope we were able to make certain issues clear to your viewers, to the other publics that who are first-time viewers of this show. Yun nga po, after everything has been said and done, now is the time to move. Kami po sa Isang Pilipinas ay hindi titigil, tuloy-tuloy. In fact, sinimula namin yung isang programa namin katapos nating lumabas sa publiko noong March 9. Sinimulan natin kahapon yung tinatawag nating Isang Kasiyahan, tugtugan, sayawan, kantsawan, kumbaga ito ay parang libreng konsyerto sa mga mamamayan, nasa antas community, no? Baon sa komunidad para makausap natin ang mamamayan at mabigay naman natin sila ng konting aliw sa harap ng matapos ang 2 taong paghihirap. No, ngayon ang panawagan natin ay tutuloy-tuloy natin ang pagkilos at hindi tayo titigil para makumbinsi ang mga kababayan natin, lalo na yung mga kapatid natin na mga supporters ni Presidente Duterte at ni Mayor Inday, na ma-realize natin na tama na kung inakala nagkamali tayo, ito yung pagkakataon natin, time to switch to Isko and to Sara. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Vivian. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Elmer, at maraming salamat po dun sa ating mga nakikinig at sa mga nanonood sa atin. And then we'll see you next Sunday again And I hope maraming natutunan ang ating mga tagapakinig. Thank you so much, Elmer, and I'll see you then. Mamaya po sa Quezon City, meron po tayong isang Pilipinas, isang kasiyahan dito sa Quezon City. Saan na yan, Elmer?
I think it's in Bahay Toro. Let me check quickly. The venue is like for a while. For a while, it's like I understand it's going to be in. Wait a second. It's in Bahay.
Tinagan ba yan? Tinagan Street?
Yes.
Barangay San Jose?
Yes, correct. District 1 yan ng Quezon City. District 1.
All right. We'll see you. Yeah, that is about, that's 8 p.m. tonight. So we'll see you there.
Yes,
Thank you,
bye-bye.
Elmer. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good evening.